สถานีวิทยุสรานรม AM 1575การทูตเพื่อประชาชน
เพื่อไทยก้าวไกลทันโลก
Swadika and good afternoon. Welcome to News and Views, and you're with me,ประช Mญาต Now, News and Views is usually on air at every Monday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. But right now, I am on Facebook Live. So if you're around, browsing around in Facebook, do check out the live Facebook Live on Radio Sara'n Rome page because I am live right now. So it's usually on air at Radio Sara'n Rome at AM 1575 gigahertz every Monday, like I said, 6 to 6:30. So if you miss me going live right now, you can do so. Listen to me again on Monday, the 2nd of April, which is a new month already. Wow, a whole month has gone by so quickly, and haven't done much of anything rather. But yes, a month has gone by already, and it's the 4th month of the new year from 2018. So soon enough, we'll be having another new year again. So by then, we'll see how everything goes in the world, I suppose. Okay, the weather for next week. Let me get my iPhone here. It's our ritual that we talk about the weather. So for the next week, the weather is still hot. Well, it says here that there's a chance of rain and downpours over the weekend. So if you are planning to go anywhere over the weekend, be sure to watch out for the storms unexpectedly. As always, because you never know, even though you have the weather forecast is not always accurate, so be sure to always be prepared. Okay, so looking at the headlines on Bangkok Post today, we have like a big picture once again right here of stamps. Okay, as you can see, if you have Bangkok Post, I think you can go online and see the same picture, but I'm not sure because I haven't really checked, but I'm pretty sure it's the same one. So it says here, a royal first. A woman presents the first series of postage stamps depicting His Majesty King Mahawachiralongkorn in different values and colours. The stamps debuted yesterday at a Thailand Post Company Limited booth at the Queen Sirikit National Convention Centre in Bangkok. Okay, so if you're a stamp collector, this would be one of the collection that you would need, because this is His Majesty King Rama X first set of stamps. So if you are a stamp collector, I think it's worthwhile to collect one of His Majesty the King's first set of stamps. Okay, so the headlines goes, game over for political ban in June. And then we have more issues on human rights, which is charges dropped against Pai Dowdin. And then NACC needs more time to probe Prawit's luxury watch claims. So once again, the Deputy Prime Minister is being scrutinized for his scandal luxury watches that he has in his possession and has been wearing and and his photos have been taken with him wearing very, very expensive watches, like luxury watches, which people are saying that with his salary, there is no way that he can afford such luxury watches. Like, some of them are like, 10 million baht, I think. So the scandal is still going on, and the probe and the news is still carrying on without ever ending, because the NACC said it needs more time right now. And then fraud probe, I don't think we should go into that, and I have some of the news on Asia, which are quite interesting. So the one on Koreas, the rival Korean leaders set April summit date. So once again, the two Koreas are trying to meet up. They have been in a stalemate for so long because they do not see eye to eye, and the North Korean always defies everything, especially on their nuclear weapon plans and testing and missile testing, which is causing tension around the world. It's not really angering anybody, but it's actually causing tension around the world. So that they have decided to meet in April, so we'll see how that goes. And then Veteran Affairs Chief is slated of Trump firing. So Trump has fired another person, but then Trump always do what he wants to do. And then there is a Facebook overhauls privacy settings amid outcry. So once again, Facebook is doing a revamp of their security or privacy settings to ensure that some of the information of their users are not being hacked. I think they have been upgrading their websites and applications for a while, like constantly, to keep up with all the hacking and all the complainings about users getting their personal information and their accounts hacked. So I'll go into details with the NACC right now. So the NACC needs more time to probe into Deputy Prime Minister General Brawitt's luxury watch claims. Now, the National Anti-Graft Agency has decided to give itself more time to investigate the luxury watches allegedly belonging to Deputy Prime Minister Prawit Wongsuwon after he insisted all the timepieces spotted by social media were actually owned by a friend of his. The National Anti-Corruption Commission, or NACC, needs more time to investigate the issue, NACC Secretary General Warawit Sukbun said yesterday after the commissioners met to discuss progress in the probe. The new delay in reaching a conclusion on the matter follows 4 extensions, which the NACC afforded General Prawit to explain where the 25 luxury watches he was seen sporting on his wrist came from. Speculation is rife. He failed to declare these items to the NACC as his assets. Now, General Prawit has responded to all 4 requests for an explanation, and each time he insisted they were borrowed from a friend of his. According to Mr. Warawit, previous reports have named the friend as being businessman Pattawat Suksi Wong, who is now dead. Now, the NACC is in the process of finding out who actually owns the watches. The commission is checking with 13 companies believed to have imported the watches to seek the serial number of each watch, which will confirm who their own actual owners are, he said. 3 of the companies the NACC has sought information from have already responded, while the other 10 have not, he added. Also, the NACC still has to question 2 more witnesses before it can conclude the investigation, which will be done as soon as possible. He did not specify who the witnesses were or how important they were in the investigation. Now, Mr. Warawit said General Prawit claimed all the watches in question were borrowed from one person. Now, he added that Pattawan's heirs were being invited in to provide the NACC with information about the watches General Prawit claimed to have borrowed. Mr. Prawit said the NACC had only recently found in its attempts to verify the 25 watches reported by the media that 3 of them were actually the same one. As a result, number of watches in question reduces to 22. Now, as for diamond ring, also seen worn by General Prawit in one picture in which he raised his hand to shield his eyes from the glaring sunlight, Mr. Warawit said General Prawit had explained that the ring belonged to his father and was later given to him by his mother. An NACC source said the ring is found to be worth less than 200,000 baht, which means it is not required to be declared. General Prawit meanwhile said yesterday he would comply with whatever the NACC requires him to do when asked if he would still have to testify before the NACC in person after submitting a written explanation to all 4 previous requests by the NACC. Okay, so once again, the investigation is still ongoing, so we still have to keep track of the following outcomes of the results of whatever it is to come, and I guess the truth will always be revealed eventually. So no matter how hard you try to cover it up, I think that in the end, all truth will be revealed. It's a matter of time, either sooner or later. So we'll just have to keep track of that. Okay, so on to something else now. Thailand wants to join CPTPP Trade Pact this year, said Deputy Prime Minister. Now, this is from Reuters. Thailand aims to seek membership in a landmark Asia-Pacific trade agreement this year, a Deputy Prime Minister said on Thursday. Now, the government has asked the Commerce Ministry to look into the details on how to join the 11-member Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or CPTPP. Now, this is an important issue, he said. Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Chattopadhyay said, adding that if there is no problem, we would join it this year. Thailand will also seek support from Japan on the matter, Somkit added. He did not elaborate. Membership could be a boon for Thailand as competition heats up in electronics, seafood and agriculture from rival export and manufacturing economies such as Malaysia and Vietnam. Now 11 countries including Japan and Canada signed the CPTPP deal earlier this month without the United States. Now, the original 12-member agreement, known as the Trans-Pacific Partnership or TPP, was thrown into limbo early last year when President Donald Trump withdrew from the deal. He said the move was aimed at protecting U.S. jobs. Okay, so that's about business around the world and how Thailand is trying to trying to become a member of the TPP last time too, but we have very little time to really speculate, or not speculate, but to go consider and oversee what would be the outcome of the TPP. But since the US overthrown it and everybody's just gone into limbo and lost track of what they wanted to do, a new pact agreement was kind of formed. So right now Thailand is looking to join that instead. So yes, more about labours and human rights, I suppose. So this is from Myanmar Times, and it also talks about the registration of the migrant workers, which I've talked about last week, but on the Thai side or Thailand's viewpoints. Now, I have one from Myanmar right here, which is quite interesting to see too, because if you look at the picture and you look at it from two sides, you'll see how one side is kind of handling it, and the other side is doing whatever they can to cater to it too. So it says here, as the deadline to register alien labourers nears this Saturday, nearly 9,000 migrants nationwide have been struggling to seek work permits through online registration to extend their stay until March 2020. Among them are hundreds of Myanmar workers. Now, migrant labourers in Thailand mostly come from neighbouring countries such as Myanmar and Cambodia. After registration, they are required to pass a health examination to obtain a certificate of identity that's called a CI, a preliminary step to applying for a visa and work permit. Now, Thai Labour Minister Adun Sangsingkyaw said Tuesday a total of 8,947 migrant workers across the country, including 4,100 who worked in Bangkok, have so far enrolled with the Department of Employment's or DOE's website to secure their work permits. Now, the online registration, which has been available from Monday this week, will run until this Saturday, the last day to submit a request for work permits. Now, those registering online will be allowed to stay in the country until June. After Saturday, they will begin to get SMS notifications to go through a series of steps to acquire work permits. Now, according to the ministry, work permits have been granted to over 820,000 legally registered migrants who are allowed to work in the country in Thailand until March the 31st of 2020. Now, the 8,947 are among around 800,000 migrant labourers required to register with the ministry by this Saturday. Now, according to the Myanmar Embassy in Thailand, there are an estimated 80,000 Myanmar workers in the kingdom who hold pink cards, which are temporary work and living permits, and have yet to apply for the CIs. Now, Police General Adun said the online registration was launched with an aim to help address congestion at what the one-stop service or the OSS centres nationwide that have handled a number of migrants during the last week of registration. Now, to cope with the overflow of migrant labourers, 4 OSS centres in Chiang Rai, Ratnong, Ratchaburi and Bangkok provinces have been thrown open for registration around the clock. Now, the minister said migrant labourers who failed to report to authorities by this Saturday would not be allowed to extend their stays until June. Harsh legal action will also be pursued against them as well as their employers. Now, under the Alien Working Act, undocumented migrant employees will face repatriation with a fine of up to 50,000 baht, while employers will face a fine of between up to 100,000 baht for each migrant. If employees repeatedly commit the offence, the fine will be risen up to 200,000 baht for each migrant. They will face a 1-year prison term as well, and a ban on employing foreign labourers for 3 years. Now, Police General Adun said a raft of undocumented laborers who have recently flocked to the OSS centers, particularly in Chiang Mai and Chonburi provinces, have been negligent as they had waited to see whether the government would extend the registration deadline. The ministry therefore instructed those centers to deploy enough manpower and provide adequate equipment necessary for registration. Okay, so if you are employing migrant laborers out there, be sure to get them registered by this Saturday because by then you'll be able to extend their stay until June so that they can get the proper and legal work permits to stay until March 2020, which is about 2 years from now. So be sure to do that, otherwise you could be subjected to a fine and imprisonment. Okay, let's now take a short break. I'll be back with more updates from the ministry.
Some
welcome back. I just found out that what's her name? Taylor Swift has a new video coming out and it's called Delicate, I think. So I haven't checked that out. So if you guys have checked it out, be sure to write to me how the video is like, because I haven't listened to any songs for a while now. So any new songs rather. It has been a busy month and week to be exact. So yes, Taylor Swift has a new video, MV. So be sure to check it out. Anyways, back to ministries update. Right now, this is what my division has been working on, which is the visit by the Working Group on Business and Human Rights, or WG on BHR, which they have arrived in Thailand since March the 26th, and they'll be here until April the 4th. And here are some of the details of what they'll be doing here. Okay, so on their first day here, the United Nations Working Group on the issue of human rights and transnational corporations and other business enterprises, like I've said, dubbed the WG on BHR, paid a courtesy call on His Excellency Mr. Don Pramat Vinay, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Thailand, during their official visit to Thailand. Now, in the meeting, the foreign minister reaffirmed the commitment and enthusiasm of all sectors in Thailand to drive forward the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights, which is the UNGP. This is in line with Thailand's 5S foreign policy to improve standards in the promotion and protection of human rights and to strengthen synergy among all relevant partners, as well as to raise awareness, particularly amongst youth. Assuming the ASEAN chairmanship in 2019, Thailand is in a position to play a constructive role in promoting the work related to business and human rights. Now, the working group, or the WG, in response appreciated the Royal Thai government's invitation, restating its openness and commitment to the promotion and protection of human rights. Now, the working group considered the visit a mutual learning process and expected Thailand to serve as a model for other countries in the region and beyond. Now, because upon the Royal Thai government's invitation, the WG and BHR has accepted to visit Thailand between March the 26th until April the 4th, during which the working group will meet with relevant government agencies, the private sector and civil society organizations, or CSOs, both in and outside of Bangkok. Now, the invitation reflects the commitment and readiness of all stakeholders in the country to continue to improve human rights work, including in the field of business and human rights. The working group's visit is thus viewed as part of a collaborative learning process, where Thailand would be able to learn from the working group. At the same time, Thailand could become a model for other countries to promote the UNGP. Now, Thailand is among the first countries in the region having started the drafting process of the National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights, dubbed the NAP or NAP. Most recently, the government has announced human rights as a national agenda, under which the concept of business and human rights was specifically mentioned, with a view to driving forward the Thailand 4.0 policy and sustainable development. Thailand also reaffirms its commitment to working with the United Nations and all stakeholders. Suggestions made by the working group will be useful for Thailand to further promote the business and human rights work. So yes, the working group will be here for about 10 days, and they will be traveling around taking information and data, asking questions about what have been done on the public sector side to ensure human rights, respect, the respect of human rights on business. So right now they have finished talking with all of the public sector, with government agencies. They have taken stock of what the various government agencies have to say, and now they are in other provinces. I think they are in Chiang Mai today, taking information from CSOs. Well, they have met with the local authorities this morning, and this afternoon they will be meeting with local CSO to see whether or not the government has been keeping its promises and, upholding the human rights principles when in connection or relating to business and human rights. Okay, as I've mentioned last week as well, the 20th anniversary of Radio Saraญรมis also coming up, which is this Sunday actually. So we'll be giving out a souvenir which is a radio Sara'n Rôm journal for our listeners, both who have listened to our programs on Facebook and YouTube. So if you guys want a souvenir from Radio Sara'n Rôm, be sure to write in, give us your address and tell us your favorite shows or suggestions and blah blah blah, and that we can send you back souvenirs celebrating our 20th anniversary. So you can submit it to our inbox at via our Facebook page, as well as send us a letter to Sara'n Rôm Radio, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The address is 443 Siayutthaya Road, Rashatewi District, Bangkok 10400. Or you can also write us an email at radio_Sara'n at mfa.go.th. Okay, we're ready to step into the future with you. So if you want a souvenir, be sure to write us a letter. Right, to wrap up, we talked about the scandals about the Deputy Prime Minister's again, about his watches and his assets. So we still have to continue following up on the stories so we'll see what's going to happen next, because the investigation is still continuing and there are witnesses and also information coming up to say that this and that. So we'll see soon enough what's going on. The deadline for the registration of laborers is tomorrow. So be sure, if you're an employer out there and are employing migrant workers, be sure to get them legally registered, or at least to get them registered online so that they can extend their stay until June, so that they can, get the proper CIs and the work permits to stay until March of 2020. All right, before I leave today, as always, I have fun facts. You cannot snore and dream at the same time. Now that's a wonder. I've never done that before. I don't think anybody can do that, but let me know if someone can do that. And as always, ending quote, happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. And this is from Jim Rohn. So yes, you don't design the future you don't design happiness for the future, but you actually try to be happy today. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you next week. Have a great day. สวัสดีค่ะ